Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Offsiders Podcast. I am Luca Mokand, joined by Massimo DeFranco.
Hey, guys.
And Brendan Lang.
What's going on, everyone?
So today we are continuing our playoff talks in this podcast. We're not going to go back to the team analysis just yet. So, Massimo, why don't you explain a little bit more?
So last episode we talked about our predictions for the qualifying rounds. So we were thinking, why don't we just make a whole bracket? Like, you gotta speculate where the seeding will be. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna have an estimate of where we think the seeds will go, who will be seeded where, and then we're just gonna make a bracket and see who gets the Stanley Cup final and who wins. That's pretty much how this episode is gonna go.
Sounds
Probably
good,
be a
man.
lot of arguing. A lot of roasting each other's opinions, but
Yep.
what else is the podcast for?
Yeah, this one's not going to be like, say I have a certain matchup in the third round. They don't have to agree with me. This is just what I believe.
Oh, I'm sure I won't.
Oh, you definitely won't.
Yeah, I think there's a common theme about two people not agreeing on this podcast.
Yeah, so the thing that I've noticed is Luca and Brendan usually agree with each other, and then I'm the outlier.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that, and then Luca is more forceful with his opinion than I am.
Luca's like, you idiot, you can't think that way.
Hey, I never call you an idiot.
No, that's true. I should be grateful.
But like, I don't know. I try and be reasonable with what I say.
No, of course.
You know.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you got to put idiots in their place.
Oh, there you just called him one.
Hey, I didn't say Massimo was one of those idiots. I'm just saying sometimes you got to put idiots in their place. Yeah?
Okay. I see you.
Okay.
You in your place, Brent.
Okay, let's get after this, boys. I think Massimo is going to start things off today.
The first thing we're going to do is we're going to seed the East 1 to 4. So for me, in the East, I have Washington at number 1, Tampa at number 2, Philly at number 3, and Boston at 4.
Whoa.
All right. I have Washington at 1, Boston at 2, Tampa at 3, Philly at 4.
Okay, I have Boston at 1, Washington at 2, Tampa at 3, and Philadelphia at 4.
So there was literally no agreements there at all.
Yeah,
we all agreed Tampa at 3, I think.
And
mine was Tampa 2.
And I had Philly 4. Me and Luca both had Tampa 3, Philly 4.
Oh, okay.
I just talked about this. Except me and Luca just had Boston, Washington. Flipped. Why? I know there's been a lot of unfit to play guys with Boston.
No, I don't care about that. I'm just I think Washington is a better playoff team than Boston.
Okay, that's fine. But why 4th?
Why 4? Because why not? It's the playoffs. Anything's going to happen. Judging by how the top 4 teams have played so far, it doesn't look like they care that much. But I know there'll be different when actually playoff happens. Yeah. But I don't think anyone cares where they seed. They're the top 4 for a reason. They could probably beat any team.
Okay, how on earth is Washington a better playoff team than Boston? Boston literally went to the finals last year. They've won more cups in the last 10 years. Washington won a single one.
Well, sorry, not really more of a playoff team, but when I look at Washington, I just see a team. They play so well as a team together. No, they play so well as a team.
And Boston doesn't?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, really? No.
You don't?
More so Philly and Tampa are better team cohesive units than Boston, who was top in the league this year.
Yes. And yes, because the seeding is going to be messed up. I'm just predicting what happened last year is just everything that you think is going to happen, it's not going to happen. So I'm predicting chaos pretty much. I basically flipped it, except not really.
That's going to be that one guy with the perfect bracket after round 1 because he picked all the upsets.
Bro, I'm tired. Every time I do a bracket challenge, I always go with the favorite, and I'm tired of being wrong. So now I'm just you know what? Chaos. Let's go.
You'd be terrible with gambling.
That's what to do a March Madness bracket.
If I would do March Madness, I would do it based off the team names because I know nothing about basketball.
Oh, maybe you get the first ever perfect bracket. Who knows?
Okay, so
never happened.
Never.
The NHL is actually awarding $1 million to someone who does a perfect bracket.
Massimo, put yours in. You got all the extra.
All right, so that's the East. So for the West, I have Colorado 1, Vegas 2, Dallas 3, St. Louis 4.
Colorado 1, St. Louis 2, Vegas 3, Dallas 4.
Okay, I have Colorado 1, Dallas 2, St. Louis 3, and Vegas 4.
I think we all just agreed Colorado 1.
Yeah, for sure. Again,
no question. Even if you want to say everything's going to be messed up, I still think Colorado is the best team out of those 4, and I don't think there's any way. I mean, of course, there's a way that they're not number 1, but I think that's as close to a lock as there is.
Yeah, and I have the Blues at 4 because why not? Chaos.
You can't just have a reasoning as why not.
I don't have to give a reason. It's just what I think's going to happen.
I have Dallas second. I like Dallas a lot. I like the way they play. I like how they have the veteran leadership with Pavelski now. And
they're one of the most offensive teams in the NHL.
Exactly. Got Klingberg back there.
Heiskanen,
exactly. I'm big fan. Who's the goalie for Dallas? I don't know why I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank.
Ben Bishop.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's right. He also has playoff experience as well, so
yeah.
I'm high on Dallas. I really like them.
For me, with like the top 4 seeding, it's like I didn't see a team that like I really thought was gonna like be like last, like for sure this team's gonna be 4th. Like I just went like every single team out of those top 4 is so strong in the West.
Yeah.
That I mean, obviously like the top 4 teams in the West, but like for me, like I just see Colorado and St. Louis as 1 and 2, and then after that it honestly just came down to like my preference. Like really.
Yeah, see,
for sure.
My reason is they're the top 4, and literally they could finish at any place.
Of course,
because they all can beat each other.
Yeah,
for sure,
definitely. Yeah, I think they're. I don't think there's like one glaring thing. We all have Colorado up there, so
yeah,
I think that would be the biggest thing. Is that I think Colorado, like I said, is probably closest to a lock in the seeding rounds as there is.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, so that's our seeding in the top 4. We're going to move into the qualifying rounds. We're going to start at the top of the East. I have Toronto in 4.
Me as well.
I also have Toronto in 4.
Oh, we agreed on something.
That's right. For you guys who don't have a bracket in front of you or haven't really been paying attention too much, that's the Toronto-Columbus series.
Yeah, 8 versus 9. Toronto's going to lose the first game, and then Toronto's going to lose the first game, then Toronto will win the next 3.
I think Leafs are going to win the first 2. Keith's going to walk into that room after they lose the next one and slap each player across the face and say, "Don't you dare do this to me again." Or, sorry, just do this to me. And then they're going to win.
That's a...
No, I don't think Keith would slap him across the face.
I think that's the most bold prediction we've had this entire...
But yeah, Keith slapping his players across the face is the boldest prediction we've had.
It is a metaphor.
Keith would be like, all right, boys, let's not lose this game. But if we do, it's fine. We've showed some growth here. Except you haven't, because if you don't make it to the first round...
going to say that after all this?
I don't think
we showed some growth in a quarantined hotel.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying Keith is more of a motivational coach than a Tortorella type coach.
I understand that, but there has to be a point where you talk to them like people and not like little children.
Yeah, and that point will come when they can't score.
That point will come when they choke Game 3.
Actually, speaking of coaches, I just saw the other day that Mike Babcock got another coaching job.
Yeah. Is he like in a university or something?
Yeah.
Tell sport kids.
It was in the U.S., of course, somewhere, but
UVM is the only thing coming to my mind, but I don't know what that means.
Why did it come to your mind?
Because that's like the university, UVM.
Bro, you literally picked 3 random letters in the alphabet.
No, that's what I remember seeing on a tweet.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, Massimo.
Yeah, see, Luca, frick off.
Vermont.
There you go.
He joined the staff as a volunteer. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Let's
Paying
keep going
money
here.
under the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Can I use your fitness facility?
Pretty good impression. Okay, let's get going here. Next series,
All right.
12 versus 5. That is
That's
Montreal and
11.
Pittsburgh.
Et Canadien.
Yeah, so I got Pittsburgh in 3.
I got Pittsburgh in 4. I think Price is going to show one game of brilliance, and then that's it.
I got Pittsburgh in 3 as well.
Yeah, I don't think Montreal wants to be in the playoffs, if I'm honest. Like, they were a team that was out of the picture, and then they're like, seriously, we have to travel, we have to play games. Like, can our season just be over?
I don't think there's
Montreal.
any team that's saying that.
I mean, probably not, but it was funny that Shea Weber said when they asked him about it, he's like, "Yeah, it's not really fair that we're."
No, yeah, and then Carey Price was asked, how do you plan on stopping the Pittsburgh Penguins power play? And he's like, well, we could ask Crosby and Malkin to stay home at the games.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not going to be any stopping
Reverse
that.
psychology, man. Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
I actually thought I saw that Carey Price was opting out of the season, but
No,
I guess that's not true.
if he did, then just forfeit this
I
series.
don't know why. I thought I for sure saw that, but anyways. Okay.
Okay, next one, the Islanders versus the Panthers. I since said Panthers, but I'm going Islanders in 4 because why not?
Saying Panthers in 5.
I'm going Islanders in 5.
I was gonna go Panthers, but like I took a better look at the team. The Islanders' offense is actually really good. I just don't notice it because they focus more on a defensive style game because that's what Barry Trotz coach. That's what Barry Trotz does.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I think it goes to 5 for me. I think New York has a better defensive core. But Florida's offense, on paper, I remember we talked about this last episode. On paper, the Islanders look like they have a better offense, but this year, Florida has showed that their offense is better than New York. So I think Florida's offense is definitely going to show up, and it'll go to 5 games.
Yeah. All right. Next series. So Carolina versus New York. I have the Rangers in 5.
Canes in 4.
I have the Canes in 5.
I like the Canes. I like their team. They actually do have more offensive depth than I gave them credit for, probably more than the Rangers. But another factor that the Rangers have against Carolina is the fact that they've beat them in their series season. And just going into a playoff series against a team that you know has never beaten you this season and you have that confidence against them, it will definitely help.
See, like I understand that like that is sometimes a good stat, but like there are things during the season that like really play a factor, and like maybe some of those games were close, maybe some of those games went to overtime, maybe the Hurricanes had players missing in those games. Like yes, it is a factor to show that like they never let them win a game, but for me it's like this is a whole new thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Like those kind of stats, like to talk about the past season in terms of like team versus team, I don't really see that mattering that much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do. One thing I'll say, I really like Carolina's defense, but New York has I'd say a pretty sizable advantage in net. So I can see it. I could see it going New York's way, but I have Carolina.
Yeah. Another thing I discredited Carolina for is their goaltending, but like when Mrazek is on, he's a really good starter, but it's just he has to be on. Yeah. He has to be on, and they have to be able to.
I mean, like you can pretty much say that about any goalie in the NHL. It's like when they're on, they're a great starter, but if Peter Mrazek's on 35% of the time.
Well, I mean, when Michael Hutchinson's on, it's nothing special.
Well, yeah. Okay.
He's not a starting goalie, though.
Yeah.
Like any one of the 31, soon to be 32 men in the NHL who have a starting goalie job, I hope that when you're on, you're an amazing goalie.
There's probably more than 31. Don't forget about tandems, Luca. Come on.
Oh, yeah, true. All right, let's move over to the West.
Yep, starting at the top, 8 versus 9, Calgary versus Winnipeg. I'm going Winnipeg in 4.
Okay.
Flames in 5.
Okay, sorry, jumped the gun there. Calgary in 4.
For me, it's just more of it's been the thing in the playoffs for like the past seasons, not even just last season, not last playoff series. Is just I think last series, Carolina's top 3 guys combined for like 3 points. And then like the series before that, they weren't the best offensively either. Like if Calgary's offense doesn't show up and Winnipeg's does, and they have Connor Hellebuck in net, like it's gonna be Winnipeg in 4.
Yeah, but that's a lot of ifs.
Yeah, and just the better goalie is Connor Hellebuck, and
For
goalies
sure.
do matter a lot in a
Well, they
series.
do. No, 100% they do. I like the way Calgary plays. I like the kind of like grittiness they play with. I think they got very good defense, and you're saying, yeah, I guess their forwards haven't produced extremely well, but they still got pretty good guys up there. Like, I mean, Michael Backlund putting up 45 points this year. Goodrow kind of had you didn't really have a down year, 58 points, but I don't know. I still thinking Calgary here, just with the defense
Mm-hmm.
they have. It'll be a good series, though. I think that's going to be one of the best.
Yeah.
In the West, yeah, for sure.
Like, I think this is going to be the closest series.
Yeah.
In total, or just the West?
In total. Like,
I think the closest will be
play it.
Toronto Columbus.
Well, they're both 8-9, so.
Exactly.
Okay.
Closest anyway. All right. Next series, Edmonton, Chicago. I have the Oilers in 4.
Same, Oilers in 4.
Oilers in 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I just think Chicago gets a game somehow, but
For sure. I think Chicago wins one just with the experience they have.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that offense just tells a story. There's nothing much to say.
Yeah.
All right, next series, the Canucks versus the Minnesota Wild. I have Vancouver in 4.
Vancouver in 5.
I have Minnesota in 5.
Nice. I mean, if an upset were to happen, I'd definitely go with Minnesota for sure.
Yeah, like for me, I'm putting Vancouver over that little bit,
Mm-hmm.
just because like they do have a bit of like a younger and a faster team. But like I feel like because when we looked at these teams before, I didn't give Minnesota enough credit because like I didn't realize the amount of veterans they have on their roster, and in playoffs, I think experience is really valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think they could steal 2 games in this series, but I still think Vancouver takes it.
Yeah.
I think another thing, like I said Minnesota, but I think another thing going for Winnipeg is that Devin Dubnyk has been very poor this year in net, so that definitely goes against Minnesota and Vancouver's goalie. I think Markstrom is pretty much just a starter now. He had this year's definitely shown he's better than Dubnyk, so that could go Vancouver as well.
Yeah, and just for me, I just like Vancouver's offense. Like, they're always fun to watch. Like, I watched a Vancouver versus Winnipeg game. Winnipeg won 4-1, but I just enjoyed watching Vancouver's offense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think goaltending will be the difference in this series, to be honest.
You don't think Pekka Rinne is going to be good?
I don't know. He has a tendency of not showing up.
Where do you get this idea from?
Or sorry, not like he shows up, right? But he's not the best. Like, he's not the goalie he used to be. It's the Corey Crawford situation, except Rinne's still a bit better than Crawford.
So then it's not the Corey Crawford situation.
Well, it's kind of the similar like career trajectory. I
Yeah,
understand.
Langer gets it. But yeah, that's my stance on the series.
Yeah, I think I like what Arizona did with the offense this year. I know it didn't really translate into wins in the regular season, but with Taylor Hall and Phil Kessel's been there now for a year. You got Derek Stepan there, Barrett Hayton. I don't know if he makes the team, but I think he could be a weapon in a short series. Michael Grabner too. So I like what they did with their forward unit.
Yeah. Okay.
All
That
right,
is our plans done. We're gonna jump into some NBA trivia, hosted by the man himself.
NBA trivia. Okay. So today it's going to be the same format as usual. I'll give you kind of a biography. You have to guess the player. This time, though, again, no handicap for Massimo because he's shown that he can compete in this rigorous trivia.
Yeah,
Can compete, ladies and gentlemen.
But this time it's going to be a little different. You can answer before I am done the entire biography. So once you think you know who it is, you just frickin' fire that out there. It'll be the same thing though. One person will guess. If it's not right, the next person will go.
This is where Luca's gonna get me.
Oh yeah. We go.
You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This player played college basketball at North Carolina. He played the majority of his career with the Chicago Bulls.
Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Who?
Michael Jordan.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
Greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I know.
Career with
Didn't
the
know he played
Bulls,
from North Carolina.
where he won 6 championships, and this player now owns the Charlotte Hornets.
He owns a team,
I
damn.
still don't think he would have known that Michael Jordan.
You don't think so? Anyways, the 6 championships wouldn't have given that away.
No, I would have.
Okay. Next player. This player is from Greece.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay. Good
God
job.
damn it.
Goes by the nickname Greek Freak. He won the 2019 MVP. He plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. Next player coming up. This player played college basketball at UCLA and was a second-round draft pick by the Milwaukee Bucks. He is the backup shooting guard on his current team. His slogan is "Understand the grind."
Russell Westbrook.
Nope.
Oh.
His slogan is "Understand the grind," and he plays for the Toronto Raptors.
Backup shooting guard. What the heck?
Norman Powell.
Got it.
I said that first, right?
I think I got it.
I never even heard Lucas say it.
I said it. I said
Let's
it before you said it.
go. I think I got it, though. I'm not going to lie.
No way.
Well, Brendan's the judge here.
I actually never heard Lucas say it, so I mean, I only heard Massimo's voice.
This is crap.
Okay. It's okay, Luca. You're still up 2-1.
Absolute shit.
You're still up 2-1. Okay, you're okay. Okay, next player here. We got 2 left. I have another one just in case you don't get one of them because I feel like one of them might be too difficult. But anyways, next player up. This player played college basketball also in North Carolina. He was a second-round pick. He won his first NBA championship with the San Antonio Spurs. He was a starter on the defending champion Raptors and is now on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Danny Green.
Danny Green. Good.
Damn it.
Okay. So
I was going to say Kawhi, but you said Lakers instead of Clippers.
I heard Spurs, and the only thing coming to my mind was Tim Duncan.
Oh. He did win a championship with Spurs. I mean,
Yeah.
he's the most famous San Antonio Spurs, so that's definitely fair. Okay.
Top 10 player all time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. This player is a Canadian and has represented his country at many events. He was a Toronto Raptor from 2015 to 2017 as a point guard. He also won an NBA championship in 2014 with the Spurs, and he now plays on the Sacramento Kings.
Only player I can think of is Corey Joseph.
Corey Joseph, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think Luca won this one.
Yeah.
He did. That means Luca is up 3-1
Can we do the bonus round?
in the series. Well, the first person to get to 5 wins, that'll be the win, and then we'll move on to a different sport for the trivia section. We can do the bonus round though. This one's pretty
Brendan?
easy though. Okay. Yeah.
Continue.
Hello.
Yeah. Your audio
What
cut
happened?
out there for a bit.
Okay. What was the last thing I said?
The first person.
And then it went like blank, and then you said we can do the bonus round.
Oh. Okay, I have no clue. Oh, I know what I was saying. Okay. So the first person to get to 5 wins will be the champion of this, and then we'll move on to a different sport for for the trivia section. Yeah, we'll go on to Luca's NFL section. That'll be a good one. I got to study for that one. Okay, this one's gonna be pretty easy. We can do the bonus round. This player is a star on the Golden State Warriors. He tore his ACL this past NBA Finals.
I'm going to let Massimo do this.
What's his
And
name?
he is one member of the famous duo, the Splash Brothers.
What's his name?
Come on, Massimo. Really? How much did you study?
What
Steph Curry
injury?
and
Pardon?
What did you say?
was his injury? What was his injury?
Torn
ACL.
He was the. Oh, I got it. Klay Thompson.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Took you
Yeah,
way
because-
too long.
They made fun of him. The fans made fun of him.
What?
No, they clapped when he left because, like,
Oh.
sorry, they clapped when he got hurt because they were happy he was done. It
Yeah.
was not a very nice thing to do.
Yeah.
But
I actually disagree with that, and that was Kevin Durant, by the way. I disagree with all of that. Klay Thompson got hurt in Golden State. I disagree with all the people saying like, "Oh, it was a bad thing to do" by Raptors fans. I honestly, I don't want to get into it too much, but to me, when Durant got hurt, like, of course, everyone, when you see like a star player fall down, of course you're gonna be like excited. Nobody knows that he tore his Achilles, and the Raptors scored on the other end, so I mean, they're also cheering about that. And then when he got up, everyone clapped. And isn't that what everyone does? Like in minor hockey, when someone gets up, everyone claps. So I always thought that was kind of ridiculous. But anyways,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Okay, so that was our trivia section. Luca destroyed me as always in the NBA sports section. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna jump into our own individual bracket as now we all have different matchups, so it's all gonna be different. So for me, my bracket, I have Toronto versus Washington in round 1. I have Toronto in 6, mainly because Washington beat Toronto in 6, and I want Toronto to beat Washington in 6. And I honestly think if Toronto can get past Columbus, it'll be because of their forward group, and I think their offense will shine this playoffs and potentially make a really good run. And pass Washington. In my next series, I got Pittsburgh versus Boston. I have Pittsburgh in 7. It's going to be a series against some really good teams, but I think Pittsburgh will prevail as they have Crosby. Can never count on Crosby.
Can we count on?
Count out.
sorry, did you say that was Pittsburgh against Boston?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then I have the Islanders against the Lightning. Easy for me. Lightning in 5. If they actually, do well this time in playoffs. If they play the way they're supposed to, they can definitely make a deep run. And then I have the Rangers against the Flyers, and I have the Flyers in 6. So that's my round 1. We're going to jump to my round 2. Going back at the top, we got Toronto versus Pittsburgh. Fortunately, this is where Toronto's run ends, as they cannot beat Pittsburgh. So I have Pittsburgh in 5. And then on the other side, I got Tampa versus Philadelphia. And I got Tampa in 5 as well, because again, if Tampa plays the way they should if Tampa plays the way they're supposed to, the way they're capable of, they'll have no problem beating Philadelphia. And then in the conference final, Pittsburgh versus Tampa, I got Pittsburgh in 6. I think Crosby wants one more Stanley Cup before he retires, if I'm honest, and I think he can definitely get it. Then I have Pittsburgh in the Stanley Cup final.
And then we'll get to that after we go over the West. So
Yeah, so whoever wants to go next.
I'll go.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Round 1, I got Toronto Maple Leafs versus the seed 1 Washington Capitals. I have Washington in 6. I just honestly do not think Leafs stand a chance against Washington. Honestly, I put them higher than Boston in the seeding because honestly, I think they would wipe the floor with Toronto. So I have Washington in 6 with that. Going down, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the 4th seed Philadelphia Flyers. I think Sidney Crosby's going to kick it into an even higher gear here because he hates Claude Giroux. So I have Pittsburgh in 5 there. And then I have Florida Panthers versus the 2 seed Boston Bruins. I have Boston in 4 here. I think they're just going to steamroll Florida. And then I have the Carolina Hurricanes versus the 3 seed Tampa Bay Lightning. I actually have Carolina in 6. So then
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I like it.
And then second round, I got Washington Capitals versus Pittsburgh Penguins. I think it's going to be a hell of a series, as everybody expects. But I still think Pittsburgh gets it in 7. I think Washington puts up a fight, but I just think Pittsburgh is, once again, too much for Alex Ovechkin to handle. And then going down, I have Boston Bruins versus Carolina Hurricanes. I think it's going to be a repeat of last year, except I think Carolina takes 1 game. But I have Boston in 5. And then we go conference championship in the East. We got Pittsburgh Penguins versus Boston Bruins. I have Penguins in 6. And then they go to the finals.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys, I think Massimo, you had Pittsburgh in the final?
Pittsburgh in the final, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so for me, I have in the first round Boston against Toronto. Once again, going to be another match.
Brendan, please.
Everyone's been waiting for. Boston will win in 6 games.
I hate you.
He can be as hopeful as he wants, but he's right.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants, but if that happens, I will cry. I think Seattle Kraken will be my number 1 favorite team.
Moving down the list here, I got Pittsburgh against Philadelphia. It'll be, I think, I don't know if the rivalry, like on paper, will be cool, but I think Pittsburgh takes this in 4. The experience is too much. Crosby's just going to rise up like he always does. In the next one, I have the Islanders and the Capitals, and I have Washington taking that in 6 games. And then in my last one, I have Tampa Bay against Carolina, and I think Carolina's going to play them really, really tough, but Tampa Bay's got too much to prove this year after getting swept by Columbus, so they're going to win in 7 games.
Wow.
I like that.
In the second round, I have Boston against Pittsburgh, and that's going to be maybe the best series in the whole playoffs. And I believe Pittsburgh will come out in 7 games. And then the other series will be Washington-Tampa. Again, Tampa's got a lot to prove. They'll win in 6. And then round 3, Pittsburgh-Tampa. I have Tampa Bay in 7 to go to the Stanley Cup.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. Hot take.
You're going against Crosby, eh?
Hot take.
He's gonna make you regret that.
Yeah, I'm sure Sid's listening, just getting fired up right now.
Yeah, Crosby listens to everyone, so tell your friends.
Guys, he's just chilling in Hotel X, listening with his Penn teammates.
Shout us out, buddy.
Exactly. Yeah, tell all your friends, guys. Crosby listens to the Offsiders Podcast. So
yeah. All right, so that is the Eastern bracket. Let's go over the West. Let's backtrack a bit. So my round 1 matchup at the top, I got the Jets versus the Avalanche. Easy for the Avalanche. They take it in 5. I got one of the closest series so far. I got Edmonton versus the Blues. So I'm going to give the series to the Oilers in 7.
Ooh.
Wait, you put St. Louis as your 4th seed?
Yeah, you did.
Yes, we've been over this.
Because you know, Massimo's reasoning this year, just why not?
Chaos.
Just
Why not? Just why not? But no, because like it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. Like you can't just go, okay, this is what is going to happen because it should happen. No, that's not what happens. Yeah. Then going on, we got Vancouver versus Vegas. Another good series, but I'm gonna give it to Vegas in 6. And then Arizona Dallas. I was going to give it to Arizona, but I can't ignore Dallas' defensive game, so I'll give it to them in 6. Moving on, we got at the top, Colorado versus Edmonton. Very, very good series. McDavid and Draisaitl versus McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog. But I'm going to give it to the Avalanche in 7. Very, very good series, though. And then we got Vegas-Dallas. I'll give it to Vegas in 6. That means your conference final is Colorado against Vegas. Colorado will take that in 7, and they will meet Pittsburgh in the final.
All right. So round 1 from the top, I got Calgary Flames versus the Colorado Avalanche. I think 2 young, very offensively capable teams, but I think Colorado is just too much for Calgary. They take it in 5. I got Edmonton Oilers versus Dallas. I think Dallas is a very defensive team, but I just think Edmonton's going to be too much for them. I got Edmonton in 5. Vancouver versus St. Louis. I think St. Louis and just the experience on that team is going to go right through Vancouver. St. Louis in 5. And then I got Vegas versus Nashville. I think Vegas is just a really gritty team in how they play. And I just think they outwork Nashville. Vegas in 6. And then round 2, I got Colorado versus Edmonton. I think if this happens, I think this will be by far the best series of the playoffs, because that is 2 future playoff locks, I think, for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
For me, it's Colorado in 7. I think they beat Edmonton. And then in the second part of round 2, I got St. Louis versus Vegas. I'm going to take St. Louis in 6 just because I think they're going to make that push to try and go back to the finals. But I think when they meet Colorado is too much for them, and it is Colorado in 7. So just like Massimo, I have Pittsburgh versus Colorado in the finals.
McKinnon versus Crosby.
I like it. That's cool.
Cole Harbor boys.
Cole Harbor, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Okay, my one here in the first round, first matchup, I got Calgary Avalanche. I don't know if Calgary... I think they'll put up an okay fight. I don't know if it'll go too long. I got Avalanche in 5. My next series is the Golden Knights against the Oilers. Oilers offense is just going to be too much. I got the Oilers in 6. The next matchup is Minnesota and Dallas. I think that's going to be a good series. Going to go to 7 games. Dallas will win that one. And then down here, Arizona, St. Louis. I think St. Louis takes that in 5, just with their playoff experience. Round 2, I got the Oilers Avalanche. I said I think Boston and Pittsburgh might be the best series. This one's definitely up there as well. It's going to be a great one. 2 highly offensively minded teams, and I got Colorado in 7 there. And I have Dallas against St. Louis, and I'm going to take Dallas in 7 games to make the Western Conference.
You know what? I can see that. It's unpopular, but I can definitely see it.
And then once they get to the Western Conference Finals, I got the Avalanche beating the Stars in 5 games. Pushing them to the Stanley Cup Finals, where I have them meeting the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay, so we all have Colorado. Let's talk about why we have Colorado.
Nathan MacKinnon is why.
Yeah, Nathan MacKinnon, I think, will definitely win the Hart Trophy. I think it's his to lose, to be honest. I just think of the trade deadline, not the trade deadline, but the trades they've made. Last season, they had struggles with center depth. So what did they do? They got rid of Tyson Barrie. They brought in Nazem Kadri, center depth. So now they have center depth. They have good defensemen. Their goalies are solid. This is a team built to win now.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think Colorado is their team that's built to win now, and their team that's built to win for the next 5-6 years.
Yeah, you know what'll be a fun time when Colorado counts on their center depth, but Kadri gets suspended.
I don't think he gets suspended this playoff.
Yeah, I think he's learned his lesson. But if he doesn't, he's a 3-time repeat offender, so the penalty will definitely be higher. Luca, why do we both have Pittsburgh?
I think Pittsburgh's playoff prowess really speaks for themselves. Obviously, last year was a bit of a shock, them getting... I think they got swept by the Islanders round 1. But I just think, especially with Gensel back now, this team, just with the amount of veteran experience they have, but none of their players have shown any signs of stopping. Malkin went on a tear this year after his injury. Sidney Crosby is Sidney Crosby. Matt Murray's a hell of a goaltender. They got veteran on defense, Chris Letang. I honestly, I do not see a weak point on this team, and they've been to the playoffs so many times that, for me, I really don't see Pittsburgh losing.
Yeah, Gensel has transformed into a whole other beast. He's very underrated. I really like his play, especially Hornquist too. Very good net front presence. Interesting you say Murray will be the starter. I actually think Tristan Jarry will be the starter in this series.
Well,
But
and that as well. It's like to have two amazing goalies like that, like going into playoffs. It's like you don't have to worry if one gets hurt or if one needs a game off. You know you have another reliable guy right there.
yeah, it's like Tortorella said in an interview when he was asked who you start. He's like, well, I can't make a wrong choice. Like, both my goalies are solid. Same with Barry Trotz, actually, with the Islanders. Like, solid goalies.
No, that's a big thing.
Langer, why do you have Tampa against Pittsburgh?
So I agree with a lot of the things you said about Pittsburgh. I just think Tampa Bay is really going to be hungry going into this. Like, getting swept last year was a surprise to everyone. They had one of the best regular seasons in hockey history. And I really like, obviously, Stamkos. He wants to win. Kucherov's great up there. Got Braden Point now. The defense is also really good with Hedman. Even they brought in, now they have Shattenkirk, Sergachev. And the biggest thing for me is Vasilevsky. I think he's going to have a great playoff.
Mm-hmm. Love to see it.
Yeah, I really like what Vasilevsky does, and he's probably one of the better goalies in the league, so that's why I have Tampa Bay going to the finals.
Yeah, and Tampa has definitely a lot to prove, so they'll be looking forward to doing that.
Like, Tampa has so much potential that, like, I totally see them going that far with the amount of talent they have on this team. Like, yeah, like, for me, like, they're Pittsburgh without the amount of playoff experience Pittsburgh has.
Yep.
Yeah.
They have good D, good goalies, 1-2 punch on offense.
And they got our guy as the backup goalie, McElhaney.
Yeah.
One guy to watch in that whenever Tampa plays in the playoffs, watch Anthony Cirelli because he's really underrated.
And him too. Great face-off guy. Put up 44 points this year.
He was on the Steelheads, wasn't he?
No, he played on Oshawa, I want to say. He was actually undrafted to the OHL.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean, a bunch of players were undrafted. I can't think of one. I think it was No, not Kucherov. Panarin. No. I don't know. I think it was Panarin, actually.
Those are a little different, though, because, like, they're not going to be playing in the OHL. Like, it's not, like, they're not Canadian.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we've talked about literally everything except for one thing. Who do we each have winning the Stanley Cup and how many games? For me, I have the Avalanche in 6.
I got Pens in 7.
I have it going 6 games and Colorado winning the Cup.
So me and Brendan have the same thing. Luca's got the Pens. I think to me, yeah, go for it, Luca.
Like, anytime I have, like, a series going the maximum amount of games, I could pretty much see it going either way. It's just, like, then it really just comes down to favoritism for me. So, like, if I ever have, like, a qualifying in 5 or, like, another series in 7, like, I could see it going either way.
Yeah, see, I don't see this going to the max. I think it ends in 6. I think Colorado's offense will be a big reason as to why they beat Pittsburgh. Because, like, yeah, you match your top lines against each other, but offensively, they both have a lot of depth. I can't even say who has more depth, but I'm thinking Colorado does.
Yeah, another thing, too, that you're saying, Luca, is that when you get to a Game 7, like, that Game 7, I think, out of anything, has the most to do with experience. Mm-hmm. Because Game 7 is, like, completely different than anything that you've ever played, especially in the Stanley Cup final.
It's pressure. So much pressure.
It's completely different than anything you've done before. So that's why a team like Pittsburgh, if it goes to 7, I could definitely see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like the most pressure you'll ever be under in your career.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Colorado again over Tampa Bay instead of Pittsburgh. I just really like, again, the offense. I can't really say much more about McCann.
Yeah. So if you had sorry, Langer, but if you had Pittsburgh there, would you take Colorado?
Yeah, I would still go with Colorado.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, so you had Tampa beating Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
in the conference final?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I have the same conference final. I just have Pittsburgh.
I'd love to see that series.
Yeah, that would be a really good series.
I think that about wraps it up.
Wraps it up, yeah. I mean, we look forward to watching playoffs. The first game starts Saturday,
Yep.
so look forward to that. There's no hockey on Friday, and Saturday's when it all starts. The Leafs play on Sunday, so we will all be watching that game for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to see. Like right when it gets going, they're all must wins pretty much. So it's going to be some exciting games. Might be a little rusty, but it'll be exciting.
Yeah, like you're gonna take the first period to like get your bearings, and then you gotta go from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Well, thank you for listening to today's episode. We appreciate all the support as always, and we hope you have a great weekend.
Yes, have a good one, guys.
See you later.